When you think of precious metals, what comes to mind? Gold, right? The ultimate symbol of wealth and stability. For centuries, gold has held the top spot, the undisputed king of metals. But what if I told you that another metal, often seen as gold's less glamorous cousin, is quietly staging a coup? I'm talking about silver. And it's not just for jewelry or silverware anymore. Silver is on track to become one of the most critical, most indispensable metals in the entire global economy. This isn't just a trend, it's a fundamental shift, and it's happening right under our noses. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and reveal why silver's quiet rise might be the biggest economic story you are not hearing about. Let's start with the basics. Why silver, and why now? For most of history, silver was money. Real, hard currency. But its role has evolved dramatically. Today, silver's value isn't just in its beauty or its history. It's in its unique physical properties. Silver is the most electrically conductive metal on the planet. It's also the most thermally conductive and the most reflective. These aren't just cool trivia facts. These properties make silver an absolute necessity for modern technology, and that demand is exploding. The single biggest driver of this silver surge is the green energy revolution. Take solar panels, for instance. Every single solar cell you see on a rooftop or in a massive solar farm contains silver paste. This paste acts as a conductor, capturing the electrons generated by sunlight and turning them into usable electricity. There is currently no cost-effective substitute for silver in this application. As the world races to switch to renewable energy to combat climate change, the demand for solar panels is skyrocketing, and with it, the demand for silver. In 2023 alone, the solar industry consumed a staggering 140 million ounces of silver. That number is projected to grow significantly every single year. We're talking about a structural, long-term demand that simply didn't exist on this scale a decade ago. But it's not just solar. The electric vehicle, or EV, revolution is another massive consumer of silver. You might not think of silver when you see an EV, but it's everywhere inside. It's in the battery management systems, the charging points, the window defrosters, and the countless electronic components that make an EV run. Each electric vehicle contains significantly more silver than a traditional internal combustion engine car. As governments around the world mandate a switch to EV, we're looking at hundreds of millions of new vehicles hitting the road in the coming years, each one needing its dose of silver. The numbers are just mind-boggling. This isn't a niche market anymore. It's mainstream, and it's hungry for silver, beyond green energy. Let's talk about the digital world we live in. Every smartphone, every laptop, every data center, they all rely on silver. It's used in circuit boards, semiconductors, and a vast array of electronic connections because of its unparalleled conductivity and reliability. Think about the rise of 5G technology. The infrastructure for 5G requires more advanced and sensitive components, which, you guessed it, require more silver. Then there's the Internet of Things, connecting everything from your refrigerator to your city's traffic lights. Each of those billions of devices needs a tiny bit of silver to function. When you add it all up, it's an avalanche of industrial demand. So, demand is through the roof. But what about supply? This is where the story gets really interesting. Unlike gold, which is mostly hoarded and stored in vaults, silver gets used up. It's an industrial metal. The silver in your old phone or laptop is in such tiny quantities that it is often not economical to recycle. It ends up in landfills, effectively lost forever. So, while industrial demand is hitting new record highs year after year, the supply is struggling to keep up. Silver is typically mined as a byproduct of other metals, like lead, zinc, and copper. There are very few primary silver mines in the world. This means that silver production is tied to the economics of mining other metals. If copper prices fall, miners might reduce production, and that automatically reduces the amount of silver being produced, regardless of how high silver demand is. We're seeing a widening gap between what the world needs and what miners can dig out of the ground. For years, this deficit has been filled by above-ground stockpiles, like those held in vaults and exchanges. But those stockpiles are being drawn down at an alarming rate. Let's look at the numbers. The Silver Institute, a major authority on the market, has reported massive supply deficits for the last few years. This means the world is consuming far more silver than is being produced. In 2022, The deficit was over 237 million ounces, the largest on record. In 2023, there was another huge deficit of 184 million ounces. This isn't sustainable. You can't keep pulling from savings forever. At some point, something has to give. The inventory at major exchanges like the London Bullion Market Association and COMEX has been falling steadily. We are approaching a point where the cupboards could be bare. This creates a fascinating dynamic. On one hand, you have this explosive, non-negotiable industrial demand from sectors that are critical to our future green energy, electrification, and digital. On the other hand, you have a constrained supply that is struggling to respond. This is a classic recipe for a major price reevaluation. But wait, there's another side to silver. Its role as a monetary metal and a safe haven asset. For thousands of years, people have turned to silver to protect their wealth during times of economic uncertainty and inflation. It's often called poor man's gold, but that nickname doesn't do it justice. Silver is a tangible asset that you can hold in your hand, with no counterparty risk. In a world of ballooning government debt and currency devaluation, the appeal of real, physical money is making a major comeback. We're seeing central banks around the world buying gold at a record pace, but individuals and smaller investors are often turning to silver. It's more accessible, more affordable, and has the potential for greater percentage gains due to its smaller market size. When financial markets get shaky, investment demand for silver can surge, adding even more pressure to an already tight market. So you have this perfect storm brewing. You have industrial demand that is locked in and growing relentlessly. You have investment demand that can spike at any moment. And you have a supply chain that is fundamentally broken and unable to keep up. This triple threat is what makes silver's future so compelling. It's no longer just a precious metal. It's a strategic metal. Nations are starting to realize this. They understand that securing a supply of silver is not just about economics. It's about national security. The country that controls the silver supply will have a major advantage in building out the industries of the future, from clean energy to advanced defense systems. We are moving from a world powered by oil to a world powered by electricity and technology, and silver is the essential ingredient in that transition. So what does this all mean for the future? Many analysts believe that silver is one of the most undervalued assets on the planet right now. Its price has not yet caught up to the new reality of its demand profile. While gold has been hitting all-time highs, silver's been lagging. This gap, known as the gold-to-silver ratio, is historically wide, suggesting that silver has a lot of catching up to do. The quiet rise of silver is a story of technology, economics, and history all converging at once. It's moving from the jewelry box to the engine of the global economy. Its role in solar panels, electric vehicles, and all our digital devices means that our modern way of life is becoming increasingly dependent on it. The ongoing supply deficit is not a temporary blip. It's a structural problem that points toward a future where silver becomes much scarcer and, therefore, much more valuable. This isn't about hype. It's about fundamentals. The next time you see a solar panel, an electric car, or even just use your phone, remember the hidden element that makes it all possible? Silver. It's been quietly working in the background for decades, but it's about to step into the spotlight. The age of silver may just be beginning. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. Let us know in the comments what you think about silver's future. See you in the next video.